Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is CJ and I post makeup videos here on YouTube, which is what you are so kindly watching right now. So today I'm going to be doing kind of like a twofer video. People do like these separate, but I don't have that extensive an eyeshadow palette collection. I have a lot for like a normal person. So anyway, I'm going to be doing like two kind of things in once. So I saw this video on Smoky Glow's channel first where she ranks her eyeshadow palettes. So I'm going to be doing that, but then also incorporating in an eyeshadow declutter. So I feel like it'd be kind of like a nice little twofer. Also, obviously, I'm not in my normal setup. I'm just sitting on our guest bed in my little beauty guest room thingy. So I've got all my eyeshadow palettes on the bed in front of me. I don't think you can see all of them, but there's a lot. Okay, so I'm kind of just going to go through them, and at first, just the ones that initially I want to get rid of. Well, there's not even any that I like initially want to get rid of. All right, so anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a palette at a time, kind of say what I think, and then I'm going to put it in a box if I'm going to either attempt to donate it. I don't know our exact shelter's rules like in this area. Eyeshadows, usually they're pretty easy to disinfect because you can just like spray Lysol, or don't quote me, I don't know if that's like the actual rule, but I think those are much easier to disinfect. So if there are local shelters in the area that are looking for eyeshadow palettes, obviously they will get my giveaways first, and then if no one wants those, then I'm going to give them to my friends, family, whatever. So, and then the ones that I do decide to keep, I'm going to eventually rank, and so it'll be like a giveaway for the ones I don't like too much, and then the ones, like a ranking of the ones I do like. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, cool. So, all right, so the first one that's just like sitting right in front of me is my absolute new favorite eyeshadow palette right now. This is the Sigma Untamed palette. I got this for Christmas from my boyfriend's mother. So I got this for Christmas from her, and I have only used this a handful of times, but I absolutely love it. I've used these purple shades. I've used all of the matte shades, and they just blend beautifully, are so gorgeous. I'm definitely keeping this because I just got it and I love it. So this is definitely going to be in the ranking pile. So next, I got this palette from BoxyCharm. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Thunder eyeshadow palette. I do really like this palette. I don't reach for it too terribly much. And I think a lot of that has to deal with the fact that I do have too many palettes just for like a normal everyday person, you know what I mean? But I will say the shades in here are absolutely stunning, especially this Zero Gravity shade, this like gray. It's like the most boring shade in the actual palette, but I love it so much. I already said what it's called, but I do love that one. And this one, like when I was like playing with Halloween makeup and stuff, you know, and you're like trying to make yourself like look like a skull or whatever, such a good, and it's very niche need, but anyway, that's such a good shade for that. This Lucid Dream shade, absolutely beautiful, and I feel like I could use this Storm Dust shade far more than I actually do because I do think it's absolutely beautiful. So I think I'm going to put this in my ranking for right now. But so this is the Colourpop RawBeautyKristi at Forest Sight eyeshadow palette. Obviously I spent my money on this. I did not get this out of a BoxyCharm because it was hard enough for just normal people to get their hands on this, but I do love this. I've used it quite a few times. I don't think the quality in the matte is as great as her pure one, which I will get to in a second, but I will say for the price of this, and just I love shades like this, like the deep jewel tones, the richy, earthy, girthy ones. Love these, and I do love her, so I'm definitely keeping this. All right, so now I'm going to go into one that I'm probably going to get rid of just to like, you know, spice it up a little bit. This is the Violet Voss Essentials palette. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this palette in a favorites video like 2 years ago. And it was a favorite back then. Primarily, it was a favorite for 3 different shades. So, or no, 4. It was this cream shade, this dusty rose, this cinnamon, and this black. This is a very good black shade, I'm not gonna lie. But this, I got this palette out of a BoxyCharm, and I got this palette like when I was very obviously into makeup because I had started my YouTube channel by that time. But I will say like my threshold for quality wasn't that great because I was very new into it. So like I thought this was great, and it is really, really great. But I do have these shades in literally like 5 other palettes that I own. And I like the cohesiveness of those other palettes better than I do this one. And this one, it's very hard for me to come up with like a singular look. Like usually I just want to take one of the mattes, put it in my crease, and then use one of the shimmers. But this emerald shade, like you have to make a complete look out of that. I don't know. This just like, I do like it. I really do. But I don't see how it's essential. Like I don't see how an emerald green is essential. The other ones maybe not even the purple. Like, I don't see how a glittery purple is essential. I did really like this. The quality is really out there, but I think I'm gonna declutter this. I'm not gonna lie, which is kind of weird, but I am. All right, so the next one is this Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat palette. I got this from my aunt for Christmas like 2 or 3 years ago, I think. I actually love this. I never use it because it is so petite. But I really do love this. For every single day, it's got warm, you know, leaning red tones. It's absolutely beautiful. Nothing too dark. This strike shade, that's the darkest brown shade. It's absolutely beautiful. Inhale's great. You know, all of them are just so good. I think it's such a really good palette. Urban Decay, I'm not a huge like stan of Urban Decay. Like, I've never, you know, their brand's not one of my favorites, but I will say this palette has really gotten me on. Like, I respect this palette. I really do respect this. I love this. It's tiny. You can bring it anywhere and you can make a vast array of everyday looks, or you can go a little bit smokier with like these 3 smoky shades. I think it's really good. I love this palette. I'm keeping this one. So next is this Natasha Denona palette. Is it the Peak palette? Yeah, it's the Peak palette. Yep. But I got this out of a BoxyCharm. I'll link that video and I think it's there. I love this. I already said I'll put the video. When I used this shimmer shade is absolutely stunning. These 4 shades I love for every single day. This little mauve shade, I never can tell like the names on the background, but it's like the pinky mauve one. I love this cool tones brown. It's cool tone, but it's very neutral. I like it. And then the white's really beautiful. The orange is a little much, and I will say the orange and the pink tend to look very similar, but they do blend together perfectly. And I do love this palette. I'm very glad that I got it, and I am going to be keeping this. Okay, so this one, I'm kind of sad to say, but I've had this one for far too long. It's got to be expired by now. I got this out of a BoxyCharm. This is the Studio Makeup on the Go eyeshadow palette. I put this in one of my first videos on YouTube. Oh my gosh. It was like the products that keep me subscribed to BoxyCharm. It was like, you know, products that I've gotten from BoxyCharm that like make me want to like keep being a subscriber, obviously. But anyway, I loved this palette. It's so good. It's so boring, so neutral, so everyday office worker. It's just so good. The shimmers were beautiful. The mattes were beautiful. They were pigmented. The black was really good, if I remember correctly. I remember the black kind of scared me because when I got this, I wasn't super comfortable with like darker makeup. So I didn't use the black too terribly much with this deep brown. Oh my God, this deep brown was... But I've had this thing for at least like 3-4 years. It's dusty and it's gotta be expired. So I am gonna be just tossing this in the trash. Okay, next is this BoxyCharm. This one's dusty too. So this is a palette from actually BoxyCharm themselves. It's the Hello Charmer eyeshadow palette. I used this in a video. I actually do really like this, and I still like, as I'm going to say in a lot of these, I have a lot of palettes for like just an everyday person. And so for me, I get a little bit overwhelmed with like what I have, and so I just tend to stick towards like the really not boring, but like the ones that I'm really comfortable with. And this is not one of them because I've really like not had a chance to play with that much. But I will say the shades that I used, I did really like. I love the color story. Some of them, this Swipe Up shade is like a pressed glitter. Like it's still actually like super creamy. Like it's more of like a moussey shade than anything. But that one's absolutely beautiful. I love the shade range in here, like the mustardy orange warm tones. Those are like some of my favorites. So I do really like this. I'm most likely going to keep this. I'm not going to initially put it in my toss pile, but I am going to put it, so I'm going to put it in the ranking pile for right now. Okay, so the next one I'm going to talk about is the, you can hear my dogs, I apologize. Anyway, the next one I'm going to talk about is the e.l.f. Retro Paradise 18-piece eyeshadow palette. I really do like this. The quality is not like top tier, but for the price you pay for it and the like vast array of shades that you get, I do think it's totally worth the low price point, but I also don't think you're getting like garbage shades. You know what I mean? Like some of them it's like, oh, it's cheap and it's cheap, but no, this one's cheap and it's good. It's not perfect. It's not like A+, but I will give it like a solid B-. And for the amount, like what you get, the price, the quality, I do think it's really good. The mattes probably are the standouts of this. I will say this Baha Mar, this lime green, and this Tropicana shade, this lavender, they're very lackluster, and you do the only time I've really been able to see this Tropicana shade on my lid was when I went in with like a cream lavender eyeshadow underneath. So I will say those two, not my favorite, but Disco, this purple glitter, is really, really pretty. And just like the neutral boring mattes are so good. Coconut, Sandy Bum, Canvas, Dijon, Fuego, Cacao, Sasao, I don't know how to say the word, Caliente, Fuego, I think I said that one already. And they're all really good. And I will say Coconut, no, it's not Coconut that I use. This Sasao Cacao shade, this, when I run out of eyebrow stuff, is great for my eyebrow color, so I do use that sometimes. But I really do like this. I'm gonna put it again in my ranking video for now, and we'll see where that goes. Okay, so this one I'm gonna be getting rid of, just because I never use it and I can't remember when I got it, and it's Morphe, and I don't really like Morphe. I'll probably ask like one of my friends if they want it. It's a Morphe palette, man. It's like the same shade, like with the contrast and brightness up or down 2 points every other thing. I mean, the shades are nice. I like them. I mean, they're okay. They're just really, it's a warm neutral, or just not. It's a warm brown palette. I can't even tell you the last time I used this, if I'm being completely honest. For one, I just really don't like Morphe as a brand, so I really don't like to use their stuff. But then also just like, I don't know, this isn't like a fun palette to look at. And if you're wanting to do like an everyday thing, this is like too much to look at. But if you're wanting to do more than an everyday thing, this has nothing to offer. It's just kind of like a palette. So I need to check. I got this from BoxyCharm. I am going to check BoxyCharm's website to see when I received this. And if it's not expired, I will see if one of my friends wants it or if I can donate it. But if not, I'm just going to be getting rid of this because I really don't like it. It's their 15-Day Slayer palette. Okay, so another one that I'm going to be getting rid of, this one, again, because it's expired, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I think everyone knows this palette, okay? Everyone knows this palette. It had its moment. I feel like it almost like jump-started the beauty industry, at least the modern one that we know now. It was such a moment, such a thing, and so even I have it. So that's how much of a moment it was. But I will say this was an absolutely beautiful eyeshadow palette. I wish I would have gotten this when I had gotten more into makeup, because like I got this maybe a year or so before I was like, you know, thinking about maybe doing a YouTube channel, stuff like that. So like I didn't use this as much as I wanted to. I really just stuck to the neutrals, but the neutrals were absolutely gorgeous. This golden ochre shade, oh my god, Primavera and Vermeer mixed. And so Tempura as well. They were so good. Warm Taupe was a favorite. Cypress Umber I hit pan on, as well as Golden Ochre, which I never hit pan on things. It's probably not a good thing to say, but anyway. I am going to be getting rid of this because I have had this for years. It's got to be expired and it kind of stinks. It says 6 months on the back. Are you serious? And it's really dusty. Really dusty. Okay, so the next one is one of my favorites. I used this in my last video. Yeah, the Century one. This is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte Summer Breeze palette. Super inexpensive, super good quality. Love the colors. I mean, I feel like this was the Morphe palette that I just talked about done right, because the shades are all like very everyday warm shades, but they're all different. Like that one, they're all the same. There's like a slight little difference. But when you blend it and add something, I mean, you can't tell. So it's like literally the same shade over and over and over again. This one, everything is different enough to tell a difference to where every shade actually counts. I absolutely love this palette. Again, it's the palette I'm wearing today. I think it's so great, and I'm definitely going to keep this because I love this thing. And it's like super petite, so it's nice to have. Okay, so next is going to be the Colourpop Kathleen Lights So Jaded palette. I harp on this palette all the time on my channel. I'm keeping this, obviously. Love it. It's absolutely beautiful. I love Kathleen. I love these shades, and I think it's a really good everyday, but also not everyday. If you want to do something fancy, fun, whatever, it's great. I love it so much. That's it. I'm so excited about how fast I went with that one. On the same breath, this is the e.l.f. JKissa To The Rescue palette. I love that it came with stickers of dogs and that you could spell out your dog's names. Mine has all 3 of my dog's names on the cover. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. 2 of my shades did come ruined. The strawberry and, oh, confetti. That's what it was. It was confetti. Those did come shattered, but and those were like two that I was actually really excited about. But I will say this is absolutely beautiful of a palette. Again, it's e.l.f. It's inexpensive. Quality is great. It's there. The shimmers are beautiful. I do love that it's like the, it's the whole monochrome thing as like the columns, but then they've got the super shimmers at the bottom, the deeper ones in the middle. I love this palette. I'm keeping this one. So this one, I think I'm probably gonna get rid of. I did really like it when I opened it. The more I got to play with it, like, okay, so I got this in a BoxyCharm. Let me go. Okay, so this is the Eloise Beauty, the Queen palette. Okay, the packaging for one is beautiful. Again, I put this in I got this out of a BoxyCharm, and this was like the star of one of my BoxyCharm videos, so I'll put that video right there so you can see. I did really like the shades that I used, but the more that I got to play with it, the more I was just like, I don't really like this that much. The shimmer shades are really hard to build up. Like, I tried using glitter glue, like my NYX primer. I tried, spraying my brush, using my finger, doing all this kind of stuff. And I could never get the pigment that I wanted. The mattes were better than the shimmers. But even some of the mattes were a little weird. Like, I remember this Regal shade, this like brighter purple at the bottom, being a little bit patchy and hard to build up. So I think that this is just not, I think it's okay, but it's not great. And for someone who has the vast amount of palettes that I have, especially for like an everyday consumer, I'm gonna be getting rid of this. Again, if I can pass it along to someone or donate it, then I will be doing that. Okay, so this is the Urban Decay Born Trend. This is, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Okay, anytime I use this on my channel, it's because I never use it. Like, that's literally why I use this on my channel. But I do love this palette, and I swear to God, I know I need to use it more, and I feel like this palette is part of the reason I'm doing this video, is because I feel like with the amount of palettes that I own, that, using ones that I do want to use, it's a lot harder because I'm like, oh, well, I could use all those other ones, but I don't want to. I want to use this one. And so this one, it's not as old as those. It's a lot prettier than those. Well, maybe not the modern Renaissance one. Well, I'm not saying it's prettier, but like, I love this palette, and I really do wish that I reached for it more. That's why I'm going to be keeping it and putting it in my ranking. And if I don't use this more, then please berate me. No, don't do that, because people online are mean. But like, I need to use this palette more because I do think it's so beautiful. I really, really do. And I love all the shades. I wish there were more mattes than shimmers, but other than that, I do think it's absolutely beautiful, so I'm keeping that. All right, so next I'm going to go into my pure RawBeautyKristi palette. I have an entire video about this palette. Obviously, I'm not going to get rid of this thing. I love this thing so much. I love Kristi. I already talked about one of her palettes in here. Neutral side, beautiful. Mattes are beautiful. Shimmers, nothing to write home about, but I'm not a shimmer person anyway, and I can always use my highlight as an inner corner highlight, so I don't care. Color side, beautiful one when you're wanting to have a little bit more fun. This white Lumos shade is absolutely beautiful, which is really hard for a white. So love this palette. Keeping that, obviously. Okay, Ciate London. This is the Velvet palette. I just got this. I'm pretty sure this was my last BoxyCharm video. I was obsessed with this thing. I need to play with this more. I've only used it that one video, but I was obsessed. The mattes in here, I mean, it's literally a velvet palette. Like, the shades are made of velvet. Like, you put them on, they blend, they're pigmented, but they're not. It's so good. The shimmers were absolutely stunning. Like, I was shocked by how much I liked this palette, so I am keeping this one, no lie. Okay, so the next one is this little e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow in Truffles. I do love this thing. It's $3. The shades are great. I don't reach for it very often because, I don't know. I mean, it's just like an everyday thing, but I will say this little taupe, or not taupe, but like this little, it is kind of taupey. But there's like this silvery greigey shade is so beautiful. Oh my God. And you don't even need to like put anything on to make it so beautiful. I need to use this more. I really, really do. This is such a good staple thing for, office workers, people who aren't trying to do anything crazy. These three, oh my God, like eyeliner, crease, transition, lid, you're done, you're set. So I'm probably going to keep this. It's only $3, so I'm keeping that. So, okay, next are these two Dose of Colors eyeshadow palettes. So the first is Baked Browns, the second is Blushing Berries. I've mentioned both of these in favorites. Okay, I can't get rid of either of these. I'm so sorry. I thought I was able to get rid of one of them, especially this one, but now that I look at it, I just can't. I cannot. Baked Browns, super good. Like, the next time that I have a job and I'm having to like go into an office every day, this is an everyday actual staple. all matte, all neutral, nothing too crazy. You've got this brown that's perfect for like a little eyeliner, like smudgy eyeliner on the crease. This little reddish shade if you want to go a little bit, you know, cute. And then these like super, super neutrals. I love this pinkier one. I love this one. I love this one. And the formula is absolutely stunning. So, and on the same breath, I wish I could get rid of this one, but I really can't because I just love it so much, especially this black. This is the best black on the market, at least that I have tried. It is so good. This bright pink shade, gorgeous. This dark purple, gorgeous. And these two, I love as well. I love these palettes. I love how compact they are, how cute they are. And I do think the quality is just like absolutely where it's at. Next is this Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe eyeshadow palette volume 1. I love this thing, but the more that I look at it, do I have that Celia shade? Because that Celia shade is what kills. See, I don't want to get rid of it. Okay. I love this palette. I really do. I don't reach for it nearly as much as I should, but I will say these shades, just all of them. Oh God. Just all the top ones, even these, they're just so freaking beautiful. I think that Alamar Cosmetics is so underrated. We get them a lot in our BoxyCharm, and so I'm so glad for that. But I just think they're so good, and I don't want to be that person who's like, I'm going to do a declutter and then I'm going to get rid of one thing. I hate that. So I think I'm going to put this off to the side and I'm going to consider really hard getting rid of something else so that I can keep this. But this palette is stunning. I love this thing, especially this Veradero and Celia shades. Okay, so this is the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsessions palette. My boyfriend's mom got this in one of her BoxyCharms, and she was like, I'm never going to wear this. So I was like, I'll take it. I absolutely love this. I've only used it once, but it is all purple. I love purple, especially for my hazel eyes. I think they make them really pop. I love how compact it is. I love the shades. I love that there's a wide array of purples. It's not just the same shade over and over again. The shimmers were beautiful. The mattes are beautiful. I'm definitely keeping this. All right, so this is the Violet Voss Pro palette. I don't reach for this often, like ever, really. But I do love it. Is there something else I can get rid of instead of this one? What about this Urban Decay one? So I'm going to try and decide literally if I want to get rid of the Urban Decay one or this Violet Voss one, because I do love them both. Okay, you guys, I think I'm going to be getting rid of this Violet Voss one. I do love that Brownie Points shade, though. Do I have another shade like that one? Because I do love that one a lot. Or do I want to get rid of the Urban Decay one? Okay. Aunt Jennifer, if you watch this, I love this palette. I love you so much for giving it to me. Thank you so much. But I'm going to be getting rid of it. I do love it, but I am trying to actually do something with this declutter. I don't want it to be just like a half-ass type thing. I do want to get rid of stuff. This is going to kill me because I do love this palette. And if I was traveling, then I would maybe be having a different conversation right now. But with COVID, with everything going on, I have had this for a few years. It's probably getting close to being expired. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm so sorry. I do love it, though. It's so good. But I have these shades in this palette, and I love this palette. So, okay, Violet Voss Pro palette, the one that I was going to start with. I do love this palette. I think it's absolutely great. I think it's gorgeous. I love the mattes. I love the shimmers. I love, like, the kind of, it's, you know, like a winier colored, an oranger colored, and then like a total neutral colored on there. I just think it's so good. Formula is absolutely incredible. I do wish the packaging was a little less bulky. Like, I feel like they could have saved so much room, but other than that, I do love it. Okay, so next is gonna be this Colourpop palette. These are single shadows that I picked out myself. I'm not gonna get rid of these. I'm so sorry. I got these with my own money. I was very proud of what I came up with. And this also does include, I will say, this little JD Glow Galaxy Collection shadow, the one in Fairy Acid that I talked about. YouTubers made me buy it. That's the video. I do really, really like these shades. All of these are Colourpop single shadows. They're not the most pigmented in the world, but I will say some of them are absolutely beautiful. Like this mustardy shade, this one, this one, this one. The coppery and the whiter ones, eh. This one, absolutely love it. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, but the fallout's absolutely insane. So I'm not going to get rid of this. I do really like this. And the packaging, I can use this. Like, I still have so much room in this thing. I can add like any Z palette. I don't even think you're supposed to call them Z palettes, right? Because that was like the brand with the like really shitty owner. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to keep it. And then the last one is this little Hip Dot palette that I got also from a BoxyCharm. I've only played with this once, and I did really, really, really like it. I will say my gut reaction is to get rid of it because I'd never use shades like this, but I've also only played with it once. And I feel like when I did play with it, it was gorgeous. And I was just kind of like, I need to play with this more. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to get rid of this just because I feel like it hasn't been given its due diligence. All right. So now what I'm going to do, all the palettes that I said I haven't played with enough, I'm going to put those into a separate pile because I'm not going to put that in the ranking because that's stupid. Because I mean, I need to use them more. So Hip Dot, Ciate London, BoxyCharm, Natasha Denona. You guys, I'm going to get rid of this one. Dominique Cosmetics Celestial. Oh, shit. This one, Dominique Cosmetics, I'm going to get rid of this one as well. I'm so sorry. I do really, really like it, but I have these shades already. I do think it's absolutely beautiful, but I have it. I've barely touched this palette, and I feel like it could be given a better home, so I'm going to get rid of that now that I think about it. Okay, this one I've only used once. Okay, and then I'm also going to put the single shadows in that pile. This isn't an established eyeshadow palette. It's one that like I did single shadows for, so I'm just going to put this off to the side because that's not going to be in the ranking either. Okay, cool. So, we're going to be ranking all these now. Sorry, I got to get everything together. Okay, so I'm a little bit overwhelmed. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go through my e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes. I have 3 of those, and that's going to get some out of the way. So I'm just going to kind of start putting them into tiers, and then I'll start ranking the tiers just so I'm not completely overwhelmed. And then I'll put like a list of my final ranking on all of these. So e.l.f. Oh, you know, I have this one by JKissa too. Okay, sorry. Shoot. Okay, so e.l.f. Mad for Matte Summer Breeze palette. This is going to be, I think, mid-tier. I do love it. The quality is really good, but it's not my favorite, but I do reach for this all the time. So I'm going to put this like mid-tier. This e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow truffles, quality better than that one, but it is super tiny and there's only so much you can do with it, but I do think it's really beautiful, so I'm going to put that mid-tier as well. And then these two, the e.l.f. JKissa and the e.l.f. Retro Paradise, I'm probably going to put closer to the lower tier just because this one, I do have some issues like blending stuff. I do think it's absolutely beautiful, but just like in comparison to the quality of like the other palettes I'm going to be talking about, I just think this one's a little bit lesser. So I'm going to be putting this in the lower tier. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Retro Paradise. So I'm going to put those both for the same reason in the bottom. And I'll go into these 2 Dose of Colors palettes. Baked Browns, definitely going to be top tier. Love it. Quality's beautiful. Love it for every single day. I use it all the time. Great. Blushing Berries, it's going to be mid-tier. Again, beautiful quality, beautiful colors, but I don't reach for it all the time because the colors are very niche. So, okay, Urban Decay Born to Run. I think I'm going to put this at the bottom of the top tier just because I have had this for quite a few years and I've never like really jumped the gun on using this. So I feel like there's got to be a reason for that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put this. I do think it's great. I do love it, but hopefully this is not an unpopular opinion, but it's going to go towards, that's probably going to be like the top of my bottom. That was weird. Okay. Oh, Sigma Untamed, I barely used. I'm not going to put that in this. Okay. Colourpop, Kathleen Light So Jaded. I do use this all the time. I do kind of love this a lot. This is going to be a top tier. It's going to go beneath Baked Browns. But I think, okay, I'm going to switch this e.l.f. Mad for Matte Summer Breeze. I'm going to put that on top of, no, I'm not. I'm just kidding. But I'm going to put that on top of Blushing Berries. Sorry. I know I'm changing things around. It's okay. All right, Violet Voss Pro Eyeshadows. This is the Holy Grail one, as I said. I'll put this one beneath the e.l.f. Mad for Matte, but on top of Blushing Berries. I think that's a good spot for it because it is like everyday neutral, but because it is so bulky, I reach for, I mean, this one's super bulky too, but this one has a lot of like, you can play around with this one a lot more. This one you really can't. This is like neutral, you know, except for like the reds, but this is neutral. This you can do a lot with, and it's cheaper, and I think the quality is just as good, so that's why that one's going to stay on top of that one. But this one's going to go on top of Blushing Berries, but underneath the e.l.f. Mad for Matte. Yes, I like that. I agree with that. Okay. God, this is going to be really hard because it's my 2 RawBeautyKristi ones and then the Alamar Cosmetics. The Alamar Cosmetics one, this is going to be really hard. I love the owner of this so much. She's like one of Kathleen Life's really good friends, and I'm just all for like boss babes of women. Not like the MLM kind, obviously, but like, I just think, you know, she's fucking killing it, man. She's in Target. I mean, I'm so proud of her. I think her quality is outstanding, and I do think she should get a lot more hype. I don't use this all the time. It is because these shades are pretty bright, especially like when I got this, I was working an everyday office job, so this wasn't something I could play around with a lot, but now that I'm at home, oh God. I like the color story of this, and I know I like the quality better. Not the quality, but like, it has really beautiful shimmers. I think I'm going to put this underneath Mad for Mad, actually. I think I'm going to put this on top of Violet Ball. No. Because I like the formula of this one better, and now that I can play around with the eyeshadow more, I think this one deserves it. I think that deserves it. Okay. So now, oh, that sounded bad. I'm sorry. Now I've got my two RawBeautyKristi palettes. Okay, so I'm going to put this one, I think, on top of... I'm putting literally everything after Mad for Matte. That's literally all that I'm doing right now. I'm going to put this one underneath Mad for Matte just because it does have some neutral shades, not a lot, but they are ones I tend to gravitate towards, especially like Puffball and Chanterelle. But then it's also got these like beautiful rich tone. I just think it's such a small compact palette, but there's so much you can do with it, so I really respect that. So I'm going to do... Actually, I'm going to put this on top of e.l.f. Mad for Matte. Okay. And then we've got Mrs. Pure X RawBeautyKristi by RawBeautyKristi, whatever. I know some people get upset. Okay. Sorry. I do like this better than her At Foresight, not going to lie. So I'm going to put this on top of At Foresight, but still underneath So Jaded. So that's it. I think I'm good. I'm going to look over everything and make sure I'm good, because I don't want to like, you know, okay. I'm going to be completely honest. I think the Violet Voss one should be up more because I do think the quality is so good. And they have shimmers. The Mad for Matte does not. I think I kind of want to switch the Violet Voss and the Mad for Matte. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. And then I feel like I'm going to be cool with my decisions. I feel like something's off. Okay, you know what? I'm so sorry, Alamar. Okay, I'm going to put Mad for Matte above that. I really am. I'm sorry. Okay, now I feel good. Now I feel comfortable. Dude, that was a lot more intense than I thought it was going to be. I was like, something's wrong. I don't get what's going on. And then I just moved those two and now I'm fine. Okay, so I think I've got my thing locked and loaded, right? Okay, so. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Okay, so out of the 12 palettes that I am keeping but have used enough to know like that I'm going to rank them. I have other ones that I'm keeping that I've said that I still need to test more. But of the 12 that I am keeping, okay, number 12, e.l.f. Retro Paradise. Number 11, e.l.f. JKissa. Number 10, Urban Decay Born to Run. I feel like that's a very unpopular opinion. I'm so sorry. Number 9, the e.l.f. Bite Sized in Truffles. 8, Dose of Colors of Blushing Berries. 7, Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe. Number 6, e.l.f. Mad for Matte. Number 5, the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. Number 4, RawBeautyKristi At Foresight by Colourpop. Number 3, the Pure X RawBeautyKristi palette. Okay. Number 2, Kathleen Lights Associated. And number 1, Baked Browns by Dose of Colors. Because I'm a basic bitch. So yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I am very proud of myself. I ended up getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 palettes. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, 7 palettes out of. I'm not counting my single shadows. Okay, so 7, 8. 24. 7 out of 20. That's still really good. 7 out of 24 is decent. Let's not lie. Okay? Don't come at me. So anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah. Leave a comment if you own any of these palettes. Have you done declutters recently? I was really inspired to do this because, as I said in my last video, I did kind of switch up my entire little guest beauty room. And I'm just wanting to, like, you know, shrink everything into size and, you know, make it more organized, stuff like that. So I feel like doing declutters and stuff like that is a very good way to be doing that. So, does that make sense? No. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Please like and subscribe if you like it. Or if you just want to leave me a nice comment.